Hello everybody, my name is Angel Aguilar. I'm here to talk about invasive Asian carps near to the Great Lakes. These Asian carps are fish that are trying to find their way up to north. I'm going to find out more about this kind of threat that is an extent from Michigan all over to Minnesota and maybe Canada. Asian carp. What is exactly? You ask me any question, I have seen those in Mississippi River. But Asian carp is a collective term. That's how we call um, a numbers of species of fish. Those are the big head carp, black carp, grass carp, and the silver carp. They were introduced in the United States in 1970s initially in aquatic farms. Believe it or not, they were introduced as fish food. The real problem right now is those species are considered invasive. They have no other fish who will compete with them, and that constitutes a very strong environmental issue. Experts have claimed that some of these species, Asian carp, can cause harm when they are introduced to the new environment. The black carp feed on native mussels and snails. Grass carp consume plants and can drastically change the river and shoreline vegetation. There also is a threat for the fresh water because ecosystem will be changing. It can go up to 100 pounds. That's a bigger fish. And sadly, there is no other fish large enough in the United States that would compete with those. This situation constitutes a threat for the Great Lakes. The Asian carp has found their way into the Mississippi River and has established themselves into the river and is streaming, spreading from the southern states as far as Minnesota right now. The silver carps are not to be easily alarmed. They can jump and they can easily go from one place to another one, even jumping at certain dams. We already have issues with Great Lakes. We have a lot of algae issues and we have the water nutrients all over the place. In addition, the political fields that seems to get some of the threats. The Trump administration has eliminated $300 million for a cleanup program in the Great Lakes in 2018 budget. And at the end of the day, it may affect about 7 billion of fishing industry. Currently, we do have already some losses, okay, um, based in an invasive species, and it's been counted that at least $200 million has been lost already. Um, Basically, these two professors, one for University of Notre Dame and another one for University of Wyoming, make a very nice study when they come up with some numbers. Basically, they say some rod water users is like a $27 million losses. Commercial fishing lost like a 2,000, 2,117,000. There's also sport fishing losses around 125, 500, 553,000 sport fishes. I mean, this is a lot of money being already spent to try to control the invasive species in the Great Lakes. So what have been done? What are we planning to do? Well, luckily here in the Great Lakes, we're talking about the Mississippi National River and Recreation Area with very important stakeholders. We're talking about the city of Minneapolis and many other people who's important, have developed what they call an action plan. Started in around 2005, 2008. Basically, the four stages are early detection, response, prevention, deterrence, mitigation, control, and outreach. and communication. We have to tell people what's going on, and we need to be very proactive. So that was implemented a couple years ago, and it's still working on it. In the federal level, the answer was in a plan they called the 2013 framework, and this include. I mean, I find out they have six items, six different approaches they're going to use, and and that's and that seems to be very logical. Okay, they're gonna use mobile electric barriers. They're gonna develop and field testing Asian carps for some physical control. They wanna basically, gonna do guns, netting, chemical controls, sterilize those things. They're going to use pheromones to kind of disabilitate to try to prevent the spread of this fish. They can identify, control effectiveness, stop the illegal transportation, complete the whole EDN calibration project, and they're going to use to see how effective as those barriers they've been using. We have a lot to say about this issue. The species uh, invasions are not a new; they're always going to come around. We just don't know how those going to adapt or change environment. Um, so far, the final thoughts are trying to be positive. The many other people is positive, but more conclusive studies need to be done about what is clearly the effects on these things. But the Army Corps of Engineers is working diligently. This is what Joe Lynn Dorsey, Assistant Secretary of Army for Civil War, says. They are basically achieving in 2011 demonstrate the success of this integrated comprehensive framework to keep action cards from being established in our Great Lakes. So I hope that these things work, and we're gonna keep observing more stuff. So thank you, and see everybody around. Bye.